War. War never changes. The Romans waged war to gather slaves and wealth. Spain built an empire from the lust of gold and territory. Hitler shaped a battered Germany into an economic superpower. But war never changes. In the 21st century, war was still waged over the resources that could be acquired, only this time the spoils of war were also its weapons: petroleum, uranium. For these resources, China would invade Alaska, the US would annex Canada, and the European Commonwealth would dissolve into quarreling, bickering nation states bent on controlling the last remaining resources on Earth. In 2077, the storm of war had come again. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinder, and from the ashes of nuclear devastation, a new civilization would struggle to arise. The Earth was nearly wiped clean of life. A great cleansing, an atomic spark struck by human hands, quickly raging out of control. Spears of nuclear fire rained from the skies. Continents were swallowed in flames and fell beneath boiling oceans. Humanity was almost extinguished. Their spirits became part of the background radiation that blanketed the earth. A quiet darkness fell across the planet, lasting many years. Few survived the devastation. Some had been fortunate enough to reach safety, taking shelter in great underground vaults. When the great darkness passed, these vaults opened. Their inhabitants emerged to begin their lives again. But the scars left by the war have not yet healed, and the earth has not forgotten.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Of Bricks and Dragons. Today we are working on our Fallout RPG real play. Welcome to the Winter Wastes. We are in the Midwest Commonwealth. We have a group of adventurers that are kind of contracted to try and get some supplies to bring them to the still trying to figure out exactly how I want to call it. But essentially, we are taking them to what used to be Packer Stadium. I'm trying to figure out exactly what to call it exactly. You have Diamond City, which is in the which is in Boston. I think maybe we would call it. Maybe we should call it Packer City because I mean Green Bay Packers. Maybe there's enough memorabilia they would think it as Packer Stadium. So we'll start calling it Packer City. So let me jot that down. Going to Packer City. Okay. Okay. So this is still going to take place in the same era or same time frame as like right before Fallout 4 or maybe as Fallout 4 is taking place, but we are in a whole different area. So as far as that goes, we are well removed from that gameplay possibility. And that's being done on purpose so that way anything I come up with is our own adventure. Maybe if I see something, I might want to snag something from something else, but it is what it is. Regrettably, we are in a winter wasteland. There is usually a sense of the weather being a little cooler. It is not surprising to find some snow falling here and there throughout the year. as things had kind of changed really in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Um, Things kind of froze. Things have stayed frozen with the blackout that had happened after the nuclear blast. We are, in essence, somewhat in an ice age. Um, so we do get some warmth, and it might melt the snow a little here and there, but it is typically a little on the cooler side. So we want to keep it in that frame of mind at least. So what we have is we have our adventurers as we are poking around. We are trying to get back to Packer City. We will go out from a time, and we will adventure trying to see what we can scrounge up for the city, other supplies or other materials for any of the scientists that reside in Packer City. Packer City is more of a military installation. It is actually run by a military-ish organization, and we are going from there. There are plenty of obstacles along the way, trying to get supplies and trying to get other stuff to keep the city going. So, from there, we find our adventurers coming up to a small group of buildings that are standing here, and as we start poking around, we have some of our characters are pretty much just carbon copies of some of the starting characters. So if you see things, hear things, or roles seem very similar, we have Melissa, we have Jennifer, then we have let's see, I believe I did not give him a name as of yet, but I was thinking Tony. And then we have our two guardians here. So I'm kind of using my R2 figures, or our R series figures here, as we have one is Ripper. And the other one is Buzzer. Okay. So we have 5 characters, so hopefully I don't have characters dying off so easily, and that is the reason why. Just figured, just the luck of the draw, rolling the dice. I wanted these two to be almost carbon copies of each other, kinda-ish. And it just worked out being the way it is. So we have a group of buildings here. We're going to stop and check them out. As you can see, looks like there was a vehicle that has been tipped over at one point. We find like a snowmobile here, which is going to be unusable, seeing that we don't have rules for vehicles as of yet. So we will have vehicles here, but none of them will be operational. We will do all this stuff on foot. So we're going to start checking things out. We're going to get into that building, start searching around. So let me get some dice out. Let's start searching. And we're going to have Melissa search first. That will be our perception check. And she has a search of... Nope, that's speech. Trying to think what would work for this. I think it's just going to be a perception check. I think I'll give a perception and luck here. So I need a 11 or better, less or 11 or less. So I get a 4 and a 5. So even just for perception alone, we make it. So we search in there. This was at one point an old clothing store. Nothing but some rags left over at this point. We will grab the rags if for nothing else, maybe some Kleenexes or something like that, seeing that that's not handy. And then we will keep those with them. We have, let's see, that was Melissa we're saying. Alright, Melissa's got the black hair. That way I know. Alright, and then we have Jennifer. Jennifer is a brown. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing, except she's got a perception of 4 and a luck of 4, so 8 or better. And she goes in there, even though that is what it is. She doesn't find anything. And just luck of the draw here. White. White is Buzzer. Ripper is going to be our black droid. Okay, so we have Jennifer with Ripper, and Ripper is going to take a check, and I got a 8 and a 14, so looking for 2 successes. There's nothing here for them as well. And then we have Tony, and Tony's off on his own. Okay. Just shuffling paperwork around here, just trying to keep characters together here. Alright, so Tony has a perception of 5, luck of 7, so that gives me a 12 or less, and that's what I get. I get a 12 and a 9, so he goes into the last building, and he finds... We are not going to put it inside the building, we are going to put it out here. He finds... I'm going to use this as a mole rat. Just a single one. Alright. Couldn't find a cuter little mole rat than that. Alright. I know I have stats for mole rats here. Otherwise, I am going to just do some simple stuff. Actually, I got the book. I know the book's going to have mole rats in here, so let's just get the mole rat, which I should have had up already. But I knew I wanted to have that here. I just didn't have it out here. Let's see. There we are. 332. Not quite there yet. Okay. So we have our Denzies here. Characters, Bloodbug. Bloatfly, Dog, Deathclaw. No, we definitely don't want anything like that quite yet. Mole Rat, here we are. Okay. So, I'm just going to do a higher roll. And we succeed. So, Tony's going to go first. Tony is going to shoot at the Mole Rat. That will then alert the other ones. I will give them an extra round. They'll come in the next round. They'll come in 2 rounds. Okay. Mole Rat. Let's see. We're going to be at a... I'm not going to worry too much about the range, only because just want to keep this going on here. He's going to use his pipe gun. Target number is a 9. And I only get one success. I get a 12 and a 3. So that means that I fail. The Mole Rat, on the other hand, is a target number of 7 for melee. Gets a 1, which is a... Oh, no, that's a 7, isn't it? 'Cause that's the 1. That's the 1, that's the 7. So, Mole Rat does not hit either. So now that we're at the second round, we have them coming in. So Tony's going to go first, needing a 9. I get an 18 and a 3, so I miss. And then we're going to have everybody else starting to jump in here, and I really need another spot here. Okay. Just trying to get everybody going here. So, Jennifer kicks in. She's going to shoot. Her 10mm pistol, she's got a 13 that she needs. She gets an 18 and a 2, so she misses. And then Ripper kicks in, and he's going to do a buzzsaw attack. That's a 12. I got an 18 and a 4. So close, but no cigar. Alright, then we get our Mole Rat, and our Mole Rat had a 7. And Mole Rat gets 2 successes. That does hit. So that's going after Tony. So Tony gets hit in the torso for 4 piercing damage. And piercing, if I look that up, I'm going to... I'm not looking it up because I'm pretty darn certain I know what that is. That goes right through the armor. That avoids the armor. And does 3 damage to Tony here. So Tony goes from 16 down to 13. Alright. So now we have Tony that gets to shoot. And Tony gets a 3 and a 9. Tony needed a 9, so that means he hits. He does 3 points of damage. And he does 3 points. Our Mole Rat does have physical of 1, so gets to negate one of them. And let's see, he's got 7 hit points. So I really need a scrap piece of paper, and I've got stuff all over here. Alright, now I got my scrap piece of paper. Always when I first start things up, I think I got things ready, and then all of a sudden my mind goes on different things. So if you ever notice that, I think I'm ready and then I'm not. 1 DR. Alright, so whoops. Wanted to take 3 points away, but it's not 3 points, it's only 2 points because it has a damage resistance of 1. Okay. So Tony's gone, Jennifer's gonna go. She's got a 13. Got a 16 and a 5. She misses. Ripper, he's got a 12. I got a 19 and an 18. That doesn't work. Boy, this little Mole Rat is something else, I tell you. I got a 19 and 20, so Melissa doesn't hit anything. And a buzzer is 18 and 11. And I don't have anything that is 18. I'm not that good yet. Alright. Mole Rat needs a 7, so 6 and 11. We don't get anything. Tony again. 17 and a 9. That's not going to do it. Then we're back to Jennifer. 3 and a 4. So Jennifer does... Let's see, that should be 4 damage. Forgot to write down the damage for the... Okay. So we're going to roll 4 dice. So we do 6 damage minus the 1. So that kills off the Mole Rat. So Mole Rat is dead. So we continue to search on the inside here. And let's see, what do we find? I got a 10. Alright. I want to give them a little bit of stuff here. Not much, just kind of trinkle it out a little bit. I think I got the wrong book for this, really. I got charts, but I don't know where the charts are in here. We're gonna get them some stuff here in a little bit. We're not gonna worry about it right now. But I didn't want to have a Mole Rat. What we do find is we are going to find that this was once a weapons store. Let's see, 8 and a 10. So that's Tony's search with the luck added on. So, because I don't know what else to do here, I think luck would be a good bonus for it, seeing that I'm searching. So what we're going to do is we're going to find some ammo. And I'm going to roll here. I'm just going to leave it as blank ammo. I'm not going to worry too much about it. And we're going to find 10, 20, 30. So you're going to notice I want to keep things as very simple as I can. I don't want to bog everyone down to this and that and everything else. And just selling it off as ammo, I'm not worried about keeping track of how many rounds they have. I'm trying to do this as a fast-paced, just keep things lighthearted and fun. But if I have extra ammo, they can maybe sell it off for a couple caps or something like that. You know, I could put it as whatever ammo. It's not really meant as ammo that they're going to use. It's ammo that they're probably just going to sell. So that's kind of the point of where I'm going with this. All right, so we searched the buildings. We found what we can find. We're going to come on over to our vehicle here. And again, I'd like to keep these a little on the shorter side, and we don't need our mouse. So we'll search the vehicle. So with Tony's luck in that, what we do is we actually find, because this was a military vehicle, we find a couple more 10mm guns. I'm going to say let's see here. 1. So we find one 10mm pistol there on our vehicle. Just keeping things small and light in that. Let's see. I'm going to roll this. 10's going to be my base. I get a 20. Now I'm doing this the opposite because I'd like to roll above, but 20 is typically a failure. I'll give them 20 caps. All right. So we go from there. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to continue on. So, I mean, I know I put all this stuff up here, which is kind of fun and exciting for me to do because, I mean, that's why I built all this stuff. We're going to get it, keep continuing on down the road, and we're going to get into the wasteland and just keep traveling on there. So what we're going to find is we have a fairly uneventful day as we continue on. Kind of move my stuff out of here. Just kind of put some debris here and there along the way. Just whatever's. Alright, so we continue on. We're going to want to take a break after a little while because we've been going for a couple hours. So we're going to want to try and take a little camp, and we're going to try and see what we can do for finding some shelter. Now, I'm going to try and do a little roll. I don't think we should probably camp out in the middle of nowhere because it does get cooler at night. More often than not, that's when we find that it snows, is typically at night when it gets cooler. If it does snow, and I'm not a meteorologist, so I don't know if it's going to snow or not. I leave that all up to the dice in the game. So as we start off here, Tony's going to want to try and push on. Let's see if he can convince everyone. So we're going to do our speech and charisma. So I've got a 10 or less. So I don't succeed in getting everyone else to go. Of course, now it's going to be the two girls, Jennifer. I got one success. I think she's probably going to want to kind of take a little bit of a break. So she has charisma of 6. Her speech is 2. She only gets 1 success. And then we have Melissa here with an 8 or better. Okay. So really, Tony is almost to it. I'm going to leave it as a pure dice roll. So this is going to be for Jennifer, and that's Tony. And Jennifer's got the lower number this in Fallout, which I got to keep reminding myself. We go with the lower number. So she's going to want to kind of camp out here. We don't have much in supplies. I have not really given our characters much in supplies. I still have extra, because I have our characters leveled up. We're supposed to be at level 4, but I did not give them the extra perks and that, which I still have to kind of go through. And we're just going to kind of go from that point. So we're just going to end up settling down. We'll leave the Mr. Handies as our guards while we rest. We'll see if there's any disturbances through the night. 10 is going to be our base. Just leaving it as pure chance. If we get under a 10, we sleep perfectly well. If we get over a 10, then we're going to have something happen. And I get a 1. So we sleep through the night, a little cold. We get up in the morning, we get going on. What we're going to do is we're going to find off in the distance a couple stags. Yeah, I know they're from Frozen. I've got girls, so they like the Frozen stuff, or they did at one point, so I've got some Frozen figures. But if for nothing else, it gives me some figures for throwing out here. So we're going to have a stag here, which I'll look up, because I think we're going to want to have, let's see, we got Mutant Hound, Red Roach, stags. Alright, so stags have 11 hit points. Has a defense of 1. All physical is 1. And if they melee attack us, oh, that's going to be 5. Piercing. So, just trying to survive out in the ways. So we have Tony. We're going to shoot at this one. Only because it's the closest one. It's not picking on the little one. They're going to be the same size stags or whatever. So I need a 9 or better with a pipe gun. I fail. Let's see. Jennifer needs a 13. She hits. So she gets 4 damage. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to do 3. That would be, what did I say? 11. 1 DR. So now we're down to 9. This one starts hopping along. That one's out of there. This one's there. Let's see, we have Ripper with the flamer, seeing that we're at range. That's a 7 or better, and I don't make it. And then we have Melissa, a 9 or better, negative 14 and a 4, so that's a no. And then last but not least, we have Buzzer, and he's got his flamer, and he needs a 7 or better, and I missed that too. Now the stag runs towards us. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the stag runs all the way over here, gets in the thick of us, and the stag is going to kick right into. I need another die here. Whoops. Oh, I got to roll the hit. I got a 13 and an 8. Stag needs target a 9, so stag misses. So I don't have to worry about that. Now we can go melee for everyone else, which actually works out better for our Mr. Handies. Okay. So, let's see. We're going to have Tony use unarmed, so he's down to an 8. I only get 1. I get a 5 and a 17, so he misses. And then we have Jennifer's still going to use her 10mm pistol. 20 and a 2, so that's definitely a miss. Let's see. Oh, I got for the buzzsaw on Ripper. So Ripper uses the buzzsaw here. And that's going to be 4 damage. And this is piercing, so this goes straight through the armor. So we got what? 3, 4, 5. My mind is not working here. Okay, I got 4 damage left. Okay. I don't know why my mind just drew a blank. It does that once in a while. Gotta love my small mind. Alright, Melissa. We have a 10 and 11. She needs a 9 or better, so she misses. And then we got Buzzer here, and then Buzzer's going to attack with his buzzsaw. He needs a 12, and he gets a 5 and a 16, so that's a fail as well. Alright. Now, with our wonderful stag, and it's going to go around. I get a 1. So the stag now decides to try and get Tony in the back. Gets a 3 and a 9, and I think it was a 9. Let's see. To hit is a target number of 9. So I got to look behind me for my book. I don't have anywhere else better to put it. So that's 5 damage. And he gets hit with 2. So Tony is down 2 more points. He did heal up throughout the night because he's a human character. We'll allow that. But he's down to 14. Actually, I gotta look. Oh, well, that'd be piercing, so 14. All right. Okay. So we go through the gambit once more. Tony's gonna shoot. He needs a 8 or better with the knuckles, and I fail horribly. And then I'm gonna need let's see here. I gotta take care of something real quick. Okay, so we just had Tony shoot. Now we have Jennifer. She's gonna go, and she needs a 13 with her 10mm pistol, and we got a hit. So that's gonna be 4 dice, and she only gets 1, which gets absorbed by the by the damage resistance. All right. Well, that stinks. Okay, then we got Ripper. And Ripper is going to use the buzzsaw. 7's hit. So that's going to be 4 damage. Or possibly 4 damage. Alright, so this is piercing. So we have 4 that goes through, so that's going to take out the stag. So our stag is now dead. And we will spend a little bit of time trying to get some stag chow. so that way we have some stag meat to take with us. We will pick up the stag, and we'll carry the stag with us and try and cut it up. Actually, with the two Mr. Handies, they ought to be able to make short work out of the stag. So we'll let's see. We'll see how efficient they are. 18 stag meat is what I'll put down. All right, so in other words, that's enough for like the three of us. How many times, right? Would it be 6 times each or whatever? 6 meals. We could have some stag meat. All right. All right. So with that, we're going to continue on our way until we get to the next hopeful town. Let's see. So we'll kind of put out some buildings here, another little dilapidated something or others. And at this point, we're going to just try and bundle up for the night. And I'm going to leave that like it's a stacked building. Boulder in the middle. We'll move that to over here. I'll change that up a little bit. Oops. Basketball here. Here. All right. Kind of brick this in here so hopefully this doesn't fall over. One of the nice things about using Legos is you can quickly change things around a little bit. All right. So with that being what that is, we will break off. Tony's going to go with them. They will go together. Stag is gone. And then we will see what we come across here. All right. I think I got an idea of what I want to do. Put in here. All right. So Tony's going to look. We're going to do the same rolls as before. Now I'm going to use my perception and luck. So that gives me a 12. 20's a negative, and I'm looking for 2 successes here. So Tony didn't find anything. We have Jennifer here, and then she's got a luck of 4, perception of 4, so I need an 8. She doesn't get anything, and of course Ripper here has a 10 and doesn't find anything. So they look through the demolished building. They don't find anything of any use whatsoever. Now we have Melissa, and then she's got an 11, and she has 2 successes because she's got the 1 here, so it gives us 2 successes. And we have Buzzer, and Buzzer gets 2 successes. So between the 2 of them, they definitely find plenty of stuff in there, and that's where they're going to kind of house up for the night. Now what they're going to find, we're going to find some electrical components. So I know it's not something that you find much anymore. I'm going to call it like an old Radio Shack. So if anyone knows what a Radio Shack is, you know, bless your heart for being old enough to know what it is. Essentially, it's a small electronics store. So we're going to find some miscellaneous electronics. All right, and we're going to take that back to, and that's, you know, some of the stuff that we're trying to get. We're going to take that back to Packer City. And let's see, what else are we going to find here? We're going to find, I'm just kind of coming up with a list of things that we could possibly get out of here. if we have an electronics store down below, we're going to probably have, seen as a 2-story, like somebody's residence. So we're going to find caps and some clothing. So I'm just going to put down miscellaneous clothing. For the moment. And caps, we're going to find 30 more caps. So that gives us 50 in all that we've found so far. Okay. Now for today, this is a small little adventure. We've hit 2 kind of little groups of crumbling buildings, and we've gotten some meat. So we're going to stop here. I'm going to -3 of the meat. Everybody's going to eat. We're going to rest, heal up, and we're going to go from there. But this is our frozen wasteland. This is the start of what we're running in, and we're going to continue the adventures as we make our way up towards Packer City. And keep going through there. So welcome to the frozen tundra, welcome to the winter wastes, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for visiting. I do enjoy having you guys here around the pool table as always, and like I said, we'll see you in the next video.